George, we have a quick rundown for folks who may not be familiar with the pros and cons of universal basic income. Let's start off that conversation. Let's kick it off. What are some of the pros of universal basic income?
So actually, UBI, Universal Basic Income, let's just start at the beginning. It's essentially a government program that would guarantee a regular base amount of money regardless of need to a certain population. And fun fact, this is something that connects folks like Payne, Napoleon, Martin Luther King Jr., and even discussions in ancient Greece. So this is not a new concept, but clearly this is something that we're paying attention to now because of the rise of AI and in the aftermath of COVID. So here is a quick breakdown. Not that I or Nick supports one way or the other, but here are the pros of universal basic income. And then Nick's going to come at us with some of the cons that are classically talked about. So on the pro side, why this is a good idea, we have poverty reduction. We have an economic stimulus that would inject cash into people that need it. And we have fosters creativity with basic needs covered. Individuals will be able to pursue passions, start new ventures, and reduce the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. It simplifies welfare. So it could streamline complex social systems and reduce some of that bureaucracy and maybe introduce efficiency. So the final piece here that Sam Altman's paying attention to is that the tech transition buffer as AI comes, potentially removing, shifting jobs. This may be a solution to how AI might cushion the blow for displaced workers. So those are my quick rundown of top pro arguments. Nick, what do you have on the other side of the fence?
Yeah, George. So for top cons, one is cost concerns. Of course, universal basic income comes with a hefty price tag. Who's picking up the tab is not exactly clear, and it may be a hard sell to taxpayers that could potentially be considered to foot the bill for universal basic income. There's also concerns about work disincentive. The work disincentive here, critics worry that guaranteed cash might lead some to trade their briefcases for beach towels, right? So the idea that if you have a basic income that disincentivizes work, but that gets into some kind of sticky political arguments that we can leave out of the podcast for now. But there are concerns of inflation risks, right? Would universal basic income, UBI, increase inflation? Inflation is a real thing. We saw that with COVID. Also, our 4 and 5 cons are that it misses the target and there could be unequal impact. That is that how UBI is distributed across the country to folks who need it for different things, whether that's education or healthcare, could be inequitable. Also, right, George, you and I, we live in San Francisco, New York, respectively, a very different kind of cost of living analysis for folks who live in the middle of the country, say Nebraska. So does universal income get prorated to cost of living? That becomes the whole thing. So there's a lot of potential concerns about equity and some of the politics on the con side of universal basic income.